Hello students, welcome to the world of chemistry. This is Dr. Vikram Panchal and I'm discussing thermodynamics, and in this lecture series this is lecture number 4. In this lecture I will explain what is property. So property is very important word which is used for thermodynamics, okay? And basically property is the different things which with the help of which we can explain any particular subject. For example, if I say Abu, immediately being in Gujarat, you will come to know that I'm talking about Mount Abu. So Abu is a mount, or it's a hill where normally we go for picnic or for do just stay 2 3 days in during holidays. Okay, there are so many things to watch in Mount Abu. So all these are basically known as properties which express what is Mount Abu. Similarly, in chemistry or in thermodynamics, if we want to explain or express something, then we need some parameters. They are known as properties. Okay, there are some basic properties like pressure, then volume, temperature, moles. Mole is a unit. So these are basic properties with the help of which we can express any system. So properties are used to express system. Okay, there are mainly two types of properties. So let us take types of property. The first one is extensive property. Extensive properties are the properties whose values depend upon the mass of the portion, okay, of system. So these are the properties whose values depend upon the mass of the portion of the system. Or one can say that extensive property depend upon the size of the system. I'll take one example. Suppose I take a beaker. This beaker is of 100 ml, and I take another beaker which is bigger, maybe 1000 ml beaker. Now, if I put 100 grams of water and here I take 1000 grams of water, the volume of 100 gram of water will be 100 ml. And 1000 gram of water will be 1000 ml because we have accepted density of water is 1. Follow? So definitely the matter of 1000 ml of water is different than 1000 ml of water. So here we can say that volume is an extensive property. So from here we can say that volume is an extensive property. Why? Because it depends on mass. If mass changes, then volume also changes. So this way we can say that volume is an extensive property. So I'll give you examples of extensive properties. Volume, then number of moles, mass, energy, free energy, entropy, enthalpy, heat capacity, etc. So these are extensive properties of any matter, and it depends on the scale. So for example, if you double the scale, the property will be double. This is what extensive property means. Now second type of property is intensive property. So what are intensive properties then? These are the properties of a system whose values are independent of the quantity. That means they do not depend on mass. So these are the properties of a system whose values are independent of the quantity of matter contained in the system. That means these properties do not depend on amount or mass or of matter. Okay, and the most important part of this kind of property is that if you divide any extensive property by mole, then it becomes intensive property. This is very good example. For example, if you want to convert any property as an intensive property from extensive property, so intensive property is equal to extensive property divided by mole. Okay, so any molar thing becomes intensive property. Example are molar volume, density, refractive index, surface tension, viscosity, dielectric constant, molar enthalpy, molar entropy, chemical potential, free energy per mole, specific heat, pressure, temperature, boiling point, freezing point, melting point, etc. So these are extensive properties, okay, and they do not depend on mass of a substance. For example, if you take, sorry, if you take, say, 100 ml of water and 1000 ml of water, what will be density of H2O? Here also, what will be density of H2O? And you know that these two will remain the same, that is 1 gram per mole. So density remains same whether you take 100 ml of water or 1000 ml of water. And that is why density is considered as intensive property. Okay, so this is all about intensive property, and I told you that if you want to convert any extensive property into intensive property, you can divide it by mole. So for example, volume is an extensive property, but if you divide it by mole, then this become intensive property, and we write like this. So V bar is intensive property, that is called molar volume. So that is volume upon mole. Okay, so that is, this is the way we can explain intensive properties. So in this lecture I have explained you different types of properties. Thank you so much.